Hey y'all, so I have to do a mini rant, right? Because let me tell you, this past weekend I was supposed to be in Miami. Friday to Sunday, my girls and I were supposed to have a quick getaway, girls' weekend, just to chill, relax, like hang out, catch up, because we felt like, why not, you know? Okay, so for me, before I go on a flight, whatever week before, I am ready packed. I am mentally preparing myself for a vacation. I am taking things in and out of a suitcase, preparing myself. I do a lot of like prepping, I feel like, to go anywhere. And it could be like for only 3 days or even like a quick getaway like this was supposed to be or anything, but I'm mentally like every day. It's on my mind. I'm checking the weather 5,000 times here and there. So I just do a lot. That's just my routine for flights. Okay, no judgments. I am already like, okay, you know what? I still have to work, but I'm like, I'm ready to just peace out right after work and just go out and hang out with my girls, for the weekend. And so Friday came. I got notification. So you know how your flight, whatever flight you're on, they're always just like, oh, don't forget to check in. Me, thank you. Got the confirmation. I check in. Yada yada yada. Then maybe like a few hours later, I'm checking my emails and I get an email, and my flight says it's canceled. And then I look at my phone and I got a notification update that my flight is canceled. So now I'm thinking like, wait, what? Is this just me? Like, what's going on? Like, should I, log back out of my app for my ticket? Like, what's happening? So that's all. I'm just thinking about what happened. So I'm like, okay, cool, I guess, for right now. Let me think about this for a second. It just says canceled. Doesn't say a reason, and I don't even know if it ever is supposed to say a reason or if like they're supposed to give you like some other explanation. I don't know. But it just said red letters canceled. So at first, if anybody saw the movie Turning Red, the cartoon, I literally wanted to turn into that freaking panda. I wanted to be that little girl and turn into that panda. So fitting, and I'm wearing red. Because I was already like, I was mentally prepared to go on a freaking trip, right? So I'm like, oof, don't bring the panda out. Don't bring the panda out. So I'm trying to be a little like level-headed here. And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to go with one of my girls. She had the same like flight as me. Let me hit her up. Called her and we're talking and I'm like, oh, like, what does your thing say? Like, is it just to make sure that's not just me on my end and I don't need to like reboot my Wi-Fi to get the correct information. So she's like, oh no, it says it on my end too. So we're both trying to figure out what, like, at this point I'm thinking, okay, what's next? So apparently the flight was supposed to like also give me a later flight that day. So I was like, okay, maybe they'll just bump us back because sometimes you get bumped. So like you'll just be bumped back to a later flight. And that's a later flight in the day. So we're like, okay, perfect. If we get on a Friday flight, we'll still be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fine. We look back and we're like, okay, first of all, let's double check because there's actually no flights leaving out Friday after our flight, and we had an evening flight. So no, I guess like the time that our flight was, there was no flights leaving out of JFK. So we're like, okay, this is weird. And at first I was thinking it could have been a weather thing, right? Because Friday, if anybody in New York knows, Friday, it was kind of gloomy and still like raining on and off, but it wasn't as bad. Now, I'm not a pilot, so I don't know. Maybe they couldn't see. Maybe there was another issue that above the surface that I couldn't see. Fine. Also, I heard in Miami, it was raining a little bit, but it was on and off, so it wasn't terrible in Miami. Up in the air, again, I don't know. I'm not a pilot. So what do I really know about that? But weather-wise, in general, it was kind of gloomy and a little wet. So I'm like, okay, it was probably just because of the weather. No big deal. I'm slowly coming down from my red panda vibe. So I'm coming down. And then I'm just thinking, okay, but really, what was the reason? In the back of my brain, I'm saying weather. And then I see and hear other stories that all the flights out of JFK, not just Miami, all the flights going to many destinations were canceled as well. Okay. Then I'm like, okay, what else is going on? Because there could be something different. And then I hear it was because they didn't have enough workers. Now, mind you, I don't really know, to this day, I still don't know the real story, but I heard that there wasn't enough workers. So I'm like, all right, American Airlines, JetBlue, Delta, any other airlines that go out of JFK, if y'all needed a flight attendant, y'all should have just hit me up. And I know y'all probably have my name on your roster at one point, because I definitely applied to be a flight attendant at all those airlines. So if y'all needed a flight attendant, I was right. I'm right here. I'm right here. That's all I have to say about that. I'm right here. But if it was any other, any other thing other than a flight attendant, I don't really know. I don't really know how to deal with that. I was like, oh, going through my emails again, and I'm looking back, and then at first it said canceled, like your flight's canceled. So I'm like, yeah, I know, I get it. You emailed me 5,000 times. And then it said your gates changed. And then something told me, look at the date. It's April 1st. And I was like, don't tell me that JFK is playing a joke. Like this is bigger than a joke, because it ain't funny. I'm not laughing. You messed up my trip. I am not laughing. I'm not laughing. It wasn't a joke, because I'm still in New York, and I was in New York the whole weekend, unfortunately. But I'm going through the weekend, and I'm hearing more stories about what happened on Friday. I'm hearing that people got stuck in the airport, people got stuck on their flight, people are sitting outside in their flight, in their plane, waiting to like go back into the airport and stuff like that. Needless to say, this whole video was basically about saying counting your blessings. So I was grateful because I didn't even leave my house for me to get all this information. So I didn't need to go to the airport. I didn't need to do any of that. So I'm just grateful for that. That's one. And two, anything can happen, right? Because I hate to do those like crazy what ifs and like dangerous what ifs. I don't really like to do that and put it in my head when I have situations like this, but anything could have happened, And so I'm just really grateful. And every month, in the beginning of every month, I am always thinking about those Instagram posts that say like, new month, this is the month for abundance, this is the month for blessings, this is the month for praise and patience and everything that people, individuals, or just in general are thinking. And I'm always so happy to see those, and I try to embrace those. But blessings, right? And it's a Sunday. We're giving blessings. I mean, you should be giving blessings every day, but it's the first week of the month, first weekend of the month. And after that happened to me this weekend, I was able to reflect and say, you know what, everything happens for a reason. And I wanted to do this video to tell everybody, count your blessings, embrace the things that happen to you and not take it on as quickly. Because yes, I was super annoyed. And if I did anything crazy, or if like I was anywhere where it could have jeopardized anything, it would have been worse. It could have been worse, right? And also, I heard in Miami in the past week, I don't know if it was still this weekend, but in the past week, like, they had curfews for multiple reasons. Spring breakers, there was other things happening, crazy stuff happening in Miami. So, again, grateful that I wasn't in, like, that mosh pit of a craziness. Count your blessings and really, really reflect on the things that happen. No, don't take it on as quickly as you think, because it was shoved in your life for a reason. And it was, what's meant to be is meant to be. Definitely a big one that I love to say. Yeah. Enjoy your April, guys. Embrace the April coincidences, the April mishaps that may happen. Embrace them, because things are supposed to happen for a reason. And I hope everybody is having a good April month so far. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.